down, index finger and thumb touch. And then so that you don't overdo the back bend, find your tailbone, bring it towards your pubic bone and lift your pelvic floor slightly, like Mula Bandha. Widen across your lower front ribs and diaphragm and draw the sides of the waist back so your ribs are not in front of your hips, right? They're right over your hips. And then absorb your thoracic spine. So you get that lift in the chest again. And lift the base of the skull up off the top of your neck. Let your chin come slightly down and look down. And then you can either keep your eyes slightly open or closed and begin to observe your breath. And as you observe your breath, allow it to deepen. Just lean back a little, Robin. Yeah, there you go. Observe your diaphragm moving as you breathe in your lower rib cage. And observe the side and back ribs all the way up to the armpit chest. Thoracic breath. And observe the breath also as it moves into the top chest, sternum, and the collarbones lift and roll up towards the chin. And then release down. So observe the movement inside your body and allow the shell of your body, the musculature to expand to welcome the breath, right? There's movement. There's never not movement. Body is constantly doing its thing, including breathing. But we're just slowing it down here for resonance breath. So if you slow the breath down to 6 to 8 or even 4 to 8 breaths per minute, that becomes resonance breathing, which calms the nervous system. And as you do this, observe where you're holding tension in your body that's not helping you in the posture. Let that go. And then take your hands to Namaste Mudra, palms together. Take the base of the thumbs to the bottom sternum and lift that up, bottom to top. Turn your fingers up and press your thumbs firmly to your sternum and broaden the top chest. We'll chant Om together and call and response for the opening chant. As you're ready, take a big breath in for Om. Om. Sahana Vavatu. Sahanau Bhunaktu. Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvi Navaditam Astuma Vidvishavahai. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Take a deeper breath, lifting your heart. As you exhale, release your head over forward, chin towards your chest, and release your hands down to your thighs and pause here. For a few breaths, soften the front of the throat, draw the sides of the throat towards the back of the neck and the base of the skull. And release the muscles at the back of the neck and the base of the skull. Curl the tip of the chin in towards the notch of the clavicles. Maintain the lift of the center and the side body as you root the outer hips and thighs down and continue to release the inner thighs to the inner knees. Keep the legs releasing down. and allow the energy of your brain, eyes, and other senses to descend into your heart center, coming out of your thinking brain and arrive fully and completely in your sensing, feeling body in the right here and the right now. And then as you're ready, keeping your eyes closed, on an inhale, slowly curl up the back of your neck and draw the chin back a little so the ears come over the shoulders. Level the chin, the ears, and with your eyes closed, level the gaze. And then move the eyes to the back of your head and soften and broaden your inner focus. And once again, drop down into your heart center and imagine that you're seeing, sensing, feeling, hearing from your heart center, not just at the front, but at the back and also the sides of your body. And then let your eyelids float open. And go ahead and extend your legs and loosen. And then you're going to come to Shavasana and lie on your back. With, if you need support under your knees or your head, you can take that for the beginning. So you'll lie back flat in Shavasana and take some time here and observe your body. And also you can do this, actually, let's start with the knees bent. So not a complete Shavasana. Start with the knees bent. And so you have your knees a comfortable distance from your body so that it's effortless to hold up your legs. So you can widen your feet a little and turn your toes in if that's helpful. Adjust the distance of your feet from your buttocks and from each other. And then bring your hands on your upper abdominal region. So your middle fingers just barely touch. And your hands, your thumbs are resting on your lower rib cage and your hands are resting on your abdomen by the solar plexus area. So this is where the diaphragm is. So just observe your breath here, the diaphragmatic breath. As you inhale, the diaphragm moves down and spreads out. So the abdomen pushes out a little at above the navel region at the solar plexus. And as you exhale, that part of your abdomen releases down and the diaphragm moves back up under the ribs like an open umbrella shape, which is what it is at rest. So as you inhale, the diaphragm engages, pushes down and spreads out. And the lower ribs, you'll feel that under your hands and thumbs also spread out. So they move outward and they lift up a little bit like the wings of a bird to make space so that the air can come into the bottom portion of the lungs. And if you need to breathe a little bit through your mouth, that's okay. You're working towards nose breathing. Bring the awareness of the breath, though, into the abdomen, not in the nose area. But if you have trouble with that, you can imagine you're smelling something delicious. So you take the awareness of the breath back into the back of your nasal passages at the throat area, not at the tips of the nostrils. So the biggest portion of the lungs, they're shaped like teardrops, are at the bottom part of the rib cage, and not just at the front, but at the side and mostly also at the back of the body. So observe how when you make space, you're creating a vacuum, the air comes in, and then you just relax that engagement and the air goes out. It forces the air out. So you don't have to suck the air in or push it out. And then we'll do the thoracic breathing. So that's the rib cage area. So just slide your hands up right up under your breast area and then turn your thumbs down. So the webbing between your index finger and thumb wraps around the side ribs and the fingers point up or towards each other so that you can feel the side ribs. And if that's difficult, you can just rest the heels of the hands a little bit wider out to the side. And now observe right up under the breast area, as high up as you can comfortably do there. Observe the rib as you breathe. Observe how the side ribs expand and also roll up a little bit like the wings of a bird to create that space for the thoracic breath, which is the rib cage area. And you might be able to feel that also in your back body. So it's not just pushing forward or to the side, but also to the back. It's 360-degree circumference of movement. So observe that movement, welcoming the breath into the rib cage. And then bring your hands one on top of the other at your breastbone area and have your fingertips touching your collarbones. Just let your elbows rest down against your body. And then observe the top chest breathing. Press the top hand a little bit into the bottom hand so you can feel the breastbone. And as you inhale into the top chest, focusing there, observe how the breastbone and the collarbones move up into your skin and then release back down as you exhale. And they also, as they move up into the skin, they roll up a little bit towards the chin and then they release back down like an old-fashioned pump handle, moving out and then up. Observe that top chest breathing, called clavicular breathing, into the clavicles. And that's the top portion of the breath, smallest portion of the lungs, but also an important part of the breath. And then slide one hand down to the diaphragm and keep one hand on the chest area. And take a couple of breaths, 3-part breath. Belly, ribs, chest expand as you inhale. And release back as you exhale. And then let your hands rest at your sides, palms up, a little bit away from the body, and continue with a couple more of those deep 3-part full breaths: belly, diaphragm, ribs, thoracic, chest, clavicles. And see if you could slow the breath down. So you're inhaling for a count of 5 or 6 and exhaling for a count of 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. You can make the exhale longer if that's comfortable. And then go ahead and extend your legs and be in Shavasana for a couple of breaths and observe your natural breath. And also observe how your body touches the ground. Observe how your feet fall apart and how that carries up your legs and into your pelvis. And observe how the pelvis lays on the mat. Is it tipping to one side or the other? Observe the curve of your lower back. How strong is the curve? Does it feel more lifted up on one side or the other? Observe the weight of the body. Does it feel like it's rolling to one side or the other? And observe the sides of the body. Does it feel like one hip is closer to that rib cage on the side than the other? And observe that the lower back ribs are touching the mat. How much of the back ribs is touching? And observe the placement of the shoulder blades. Are the shoulder blades touching? What part? Are they even? Is one higher up than the other towards the shoulder? Is one more out to the side than the other? Is one upper arm bone more curled in towards the chest than the other? Observe the placement of your arms, hands, and fingers. And maybe you'll see if one arm is a little more turned out than the other. Is one shoulder a little higher to the ear than the other? And how is the curve at the back of the neck? Where's the placement of the head on the mat? Where's the weight? Is it even, side to side, top to bottom? Is your head tilting to one side, turning to one side, leaning to one side? No judgment, just curiosity to observe your patterns of holding tension in your body. We'll do some somatic movement to sort of start off, although we've started already with breathing and Shavasana, the quintessential restorative pose. So now, in order to bend the knees up, turn one leg more out, maybe the one that's already turned out, and then slide the knee up without doing anything with the foot. Just slide the knee up maybe halfway, and then tilt the knee up so the foot comes flat, and let that knee dip into the midline towards the other leg. So that hip gets a little light, and then turn the other leg out and slide the knee up about halfway. Keep the foot just relaxed, and then lift both the knees up. You can adjust your feet, comfortable distance from each other and from your pelvis, and observe your pelvis and the placement of your pelvis on the mat, and observe the curve of your lower back. And we'll do arch and release. So observe your lower back, the part that's coming off the ground right above your sacrum. And then you're going to inhale and engage that part, lifting it more off the ground. Roll your pelvis forward like a rolling pin, and press your bottom of your sacrum towards your tailbone and your sitting bones down. And as you do that, allow the back of your neck to lengthen and release, and observe the engagement of your back muscles. And then as you exhale, slowly release the engagement of your back muscles without engaging the front, and release back slowly to neutral, and observe any shaky movements, jerky movements, or dropping movements where there might be sensory motor amnesia, where you don't feel the muscle and you've lost the ability to control engagement and release. And observe your new neutral. And then again, as you inhale, engage your lower back muscles, lifting that part of your waist off the ground. Keep your sitting bones and tailbone down, the bottom part of the pelvis, as you roll down towards your sitting bone and tailbone, and allow the back of your neck to lengthen. And maybe you go a little bit deeper, maybe not. And then you smoothly release and observe the release. Without engaging the front, just release what engaged in the back and come back to neutral. And observe neutral. You may need to adjust your head or anything, that's fine. And then we'll do it one more time. As you inhale, lift your lower back off the mat and roll your pelvis forward like a rolling pin, pressing the sitting bones and tailbone down. Observe how your spine comes off the ground, vertebra by vertebra, from the bottom towards the top. And allow the back of your neck to lengthen even more without forcing it. Just stop engaging it at the back. And then smoothly release the engagement of your back muscles without engaging anything in the front. Smoothly release the back and allow the back to slowly come back onto the mat to neutral. And observe neutral. See if neutral has changed since when you began. And then we'll do flatten, the opposite move. So take an inhale, and as you exhale, sink your lower waist down. So like a blender, how everything moves from the sides towards the middle and pulls down. So when you sink your lower belly down below your belly button towards your spine, observe how the knees want to fall in towards each other. Now you let your hips roll back, so the sitting bones and tailbone curl off the mat, and you press the lower back down at the sacrum area, top of the sacrum. And as you do this, it pushes your spine up towards your chin, so your chin lifts and your head falls back a little. Now observe the engagement of the abdominal muscles in the front, and smoothly release those as you inhale, and allow your pelvis to slowly roll back to neutral, and adjust your neck as needed, and come back to neutral, and observe how neutral has changed. And again, inhale into your lower abdomen, and then as you exhale, sink the lower abdomen down towards the spine, and press the lower back down, and observe how one side might press easier than the other, right? And let your hips roll back, sitting bones, tailbone curl up, and sink the middle waist also if that's accessible to you. And as you do that, you might feel your shoulders lift a little and the head falls back even more. And then as you inhale, smoothly release all that engagement of the front body. Don't engage the back, just release the front. Come back to neutral and observe neutral. And we'll do that one more time. Take an inhale into your lower belly and then exhale, sink the lower belly down. Let your hips roll back, pressing the sacrum down and the lower back. Let the sitting bones and tailbone curl up. And then sink the middle waist down, if you can find that at the belly button. And then the lower front ribs, sink those down towards the lower back ribs and also towards the pubic bone. And let your head fall back even more and your shoulders lift up even more. And then as you inhale smoothly, release the engagement at the front and come back to neutral and observe neutral again. Take a breath, and then we're going to do back and forth 3 times, and then we'll rest in Shavasana. So we'll have an extra breath in between. So as you inhale, you lift your lower back up, roll your pelvis forward like a rolling pin, pressing the sitting bones and tailbone down, arching your lower back, engaging the back. Let the back of your neck lengthen, and you can even press the outer edge of the upper arms down to take that more into your upper back if you like. And then as you exhale, smoothly release the engagement of the back without engaging the front and come back to neutral. And be in neutral and observe neutral. Reset, really let go. Neutral means no engagement. Just, that you have to keep your legs up and you can adjust your neck. Inhale into the lower belly to prepare. And then as you exhale, sink the lower belly down. Let your hips roll back, flattening your lower back. Press that down. Let the sitting bones and tailbone curl up. And then if you can, you sink the middle waist and the upper waist as well. So the head really falls back and the shoulders lift and start to curl in towards the chest. And let the tailbone and sitting bones really lift. And then smoothly release all that engagement. As you inhale, come back to neutral and exhale and just observe neutral. And just take as many breaths as you want. Doesn't matter how many breaths. Okay. So again, inhaling, and you can exhale and inhale many times. You roll your pelvis forward like a rolling pin, lifting the lower back off the ground, press the sitting bones and tailbone down. Take it up as high as you comfortably feel able, pressing the outer edge of the upper arms down if you like. Let the knees come a little bit apart, even so you're opening up like the flower, blooming. And then as you exhale, smoothly release the engagement of the back. Come to neutral and be in neutral and breathe and observe neutral. Bring your arms a little closer to your sides, and then we'll do flatten, and you can take that into the bud of the flower if you like, but you don't have to, which means you're just a little more dramatic in the movement. So as you take an inhale to prepare, and then as you exhale, sink the lower belly down. So you'll feel the frontal hip bones roll towards each other, and the knees want to pull in as you do that. And then sink the middle of the waist down, let the sitting bones and tailbone curl up, and then find your lower back ribs and your lower front ribs. Sink your lower front ribs like an abdominal crunch down towards your lower back ribs and towards your pubic bone. Let your head lift and turn your upper arms in towards your chest. You can lift your elbows off the ground and you kind of squeeze in like a bud of a flower. And then as you inhale, you smoothly release all that engagement and come back to neutral. Take a breath and observe neutral. You can let your arms be a little further from your body, and we'll do it one more time. So as you inhale, you lift your lower back off the mat, roll your pelvis forward like a rolling pin. Press the sitting bones and tailbone down, let the knees start to come apart as you do that. You can go all the way into open knees position and then roll the shoulders under. And as you roll the shoulders under, let your elbows lift up and turn your palms out. So you go all the way into the full expression of that if you like. Full external rotation of the arms, knees apart. And then smoothly release that engagement as you exhale. And you kind of have to engage a little to come back to neutral, right? If you're doing the full expression. Otherwise, you just keep it a little less, and that's fine. And then we'll do the flatten. So you take an inhale, and then as you exhale, sink the lower belly down. Let the knees pull in. Sink the middle waist down. Let the head start to lift. Find the lower ribs and sink those down towards the upper ribs and lift the tailbone and sitting bones up. Let the head fall back. Lift the arms and roll the shoulders, and then you can squeeze the inner thighs and squeeze the arms in towards the side of the body if you like. Backs of the hands face the thighs. And then you smoothly release all that engagement as you inhale and come to neutral and exhale and breathe here and adjust your neck. Observe neutral. And then when you're ready, go ahead and straighten your legs out again and come back to Shavasana and reassess Shavasana. Observe your body as you breathe freely in and out and see if there's any changes that you might notice in your body. Let your arms come a little bit away from the sides so that your armpits have space, palms up. And so we're going to do the windshield wiper one also with the wash rag arms. So you might want to alternate, like one person come a little forward so that you don't hit your arms and legs. Okay. So Susan's coming forward to maybe Katie and Mia. I'm a little bit forward. You can pull your mat forward or whatever you like. Forgot to turn the floor up. Sorry. I'll do it now. Okay. So, okay. Yep. Okay. Then you'll bend your knees up again one by one in that lazy ragdoll method. You can bring the opposite leg up first if you like. Tilt the knee out, slide it up, lift it up, tilt it to the midline, tilt the other knee up, or slide the other knee up, tilt it up, and then come back to neutral with your leg. And then you're going to have your arms more in line with your shoulders, but a little bit below, not above. So look and see the arms are a little below the shoulders. And then widen your feet to the outer edges of your mat, a comfortable distance from your buttocks, not too close, not too far either. Release the inner thighs towards each other, turn the toes in, heels out. Take a couple of breaths here, an internal rotation. Not squeezing the inner thighs, but let the leg, turn your toes in, heels out, pigeon toe. Bring your feet, Kim, a little further from your buttocks. Yes, there you go. Let your knees fall together. Just let your legs turn into internal rotation. Yep. And observe the broadening of the buttocks and the lower back, and allow the abdomen to hollow and release down towards the spine. And then go ahead and separate your legs and bring your feet to neutral, and we'll do the one-legged windshield wiper 3 times on the right, okay? So you just slowly release your right leg into the middle, right? And allow the right hip to also go into internal rotation and come off the ground. So you can let your left leg release out to the side just enough so you can get some good internal rotation of your right leg. So it's a one-legged windshield wiper. And then as you inhale, raise your right leg up and roll your pelvis back. And you can roll a little back and forth if you like, and widen your inner thighs and knees. Take a breath and we repeat. As you exhale, and again, just breathe in and out freely. Allow your knee to turn in toward the midline and fall down gently, slow release. And allow your hip to turn into that internal rotation. Left leg, so you're rolling to the left hip. Now allow the front of your leg to lengthen from the waist under your rib cage across the frontal hip area on top of the thigh. So you're reaching your right knee a little bit towards the skinny edge of your mat. And you let your left leg release a little bit more as you do that. So your right hip comes off the ground more. And then lift your right leg up and roll back to neutral. And widen your knees a little and adjust your pelvis and feet. Take a breath, and we'll do that one more time. This time we'll go into the full pose, but again, slowly. So you let your right leg turn in, your right hip turns in, your left leg, you roll to the left a little, right? Left leg releases out a little. Then you let the front of your body reach and lengthen from your rib cage across the front of your hip to the top of your right knee. So your right hip comes off more, your left leg releases more, and then slowly release your left leg, inner left thigh all the way down. And not to push anything in the back body, just let everything be in neutral and observe. So your legs are quite wide apart. Release your inner left thigh, Kim, all the way down. So why don't you, Kim, you need to come down more. Yeah. So, or Mia, one of you. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and then inhale, come up. So what I mean is like, Mia, can you move more to the middle of the room? Move down, move your whole body down. You don't need to move your mat so much. Just move your body. More. Get your feet all the way to the front of the edge of the mat. Keep moving. Keep coming down towards the more. No, not to the side. Down to the bottom of your mat. Yes. Now you can extend your arms. Yes, so you don't knock each other. There you go. So now we're going to do the other side. So your feet are wide. And your left leg dips in to the midline. So it turns into internal rotation, as does your hip. And the idea is not to force it with your willpower, right? That's not what we're doing. You're seeing what your nervous system will allow, right? So what will your nervous system allow you to release? Okay, and then inhale, raise your left leg up, roll back to the pelvis in neutral and widen your legs, your inner thighs. Take a breath and we repeat on the left. So your left leg turns in and releases down. Your left hip comes off the ground, you roll more towards the right hip. You let your right leg release out a little bit. Now let the front of your left leg release, right? And your left hip comes off the ground all the way. And you release the front of your left waist and groin and thigh. And you're all the way on the right hip and your right leg is releasing out quite a bit more. And then you inhale and you lift your left leg up and roll back to neutral. Observe neutral, widen the inner thighs, and this time we go all the way slowly. You turn the left leg in. You release it as you turn it, slow, controlled release. Rolling to the right hip. Let the front of your left waist and groin and leg reach towards the skinny edge of the mat. And slowly release the inner right leg and release the right leg all the way out. Full windshield wiper. Yeah, good. Excuse me. And then inhale, raise your legs up and come back to neutral. And adjust your feet more hip width distance, so not quite so wide. And now you're going to release your legs to the left. Okay, so you can slowly control the release. And as you release your legs to the left, allow your head to release. Try not to turn it too willfully, but see again, what will my nervous system allow me to release, right? Let your eyes go to. And then inhale, raise your legs up and let your head come back to neutral. And as you exhale, you can adjust your feet every time if you like. Release your legs to the right, slow, controlled release, and allow your head to release to the left without willfully turning it as best you can. And observe. And then inhale and raise your legs up. And again, exhale, you'll release the legs to the left and the head to the right, opposite of the legs. And then we'll add the arms. And if the arms are too complicating for you, then just leave the arms or just start with the one arm. That's good enough. So you're looking towards so your head's tilting to your right shoulder and your right shoulder is probably up towards your ear. So you lift the right shoulder blade off the ground, the whole shoulder, and then you draw the shoulder blade down the back, lift the elbow of the right arm, turn that arm into external rotation. So the palm faces the wall behind you and let your head release more and neck. So that's active, your right arm, it's turning out. And then slowly release the right arm down and raise the legs up and let the head come up as a consequence of that. Exhale, you release the legs to the right, allowing the head to release to the left. Observe the left shoulder is probably up to the ear. So you lift the left shoulder off the ground and shoulder blade. Draw the shoulder blade down the back, lift the elbow, wrap the muscles around the arm, and turn the arm into external rotation. So now the left arm is active, and you see how that allows your neck to release more. And then you release your left arm down, raise your legs up as you inhale, head comes back to neutral, release the legs to the left, head to the right, lift the right shoulder, turn the right arm into external rotation. You can just do that much, or you can lean to the right a little, lift the left shoulder all the way off the ground, and then lift the elbow and the hand, turn. So, but turn from the shoulder, bring the left shoulder into internal rotation, into the chest. So now the right hip and left shoulder are coming closer together. Right hip is in external rotation and left shoulder is in internal rotation. And then smoothly release your arms back to neutral. Lift your legs up, head to neutral. Exhale, release the legs to the right, head to the left. Lift the left shoulder, draw the shoulder blade down, lift the left elbow, turn that arm into external rotation. Palm faces your head. So it's like when you release your neck, you're looking into your left palm. Lift your right shoulder if you're ready to do that. Turn that shoulder into the chest. So you're lifting your right shoulder off the ground considerably when you turn. Right shoulder, left hip are getting closer. More release in the neck. And then release your arms and lift your legs. Release your legs. And then you can do the arms one at a time or together, or just do the externally rotated arm. And then you lift your legs as you release your arms, and you can go back and forth a few times. In the windshield wiper, and the arms are called the wash rag, like you're twisting a wash rag. So as your legs go one way, your head goes the opposite way, and the arm you're looking at turns out, and the arm you are looking away from turns in. Okay, and you can do that a couple of times and then come back to neutral and come back to Shavasana. And reassess Shavasana for a few breaths and see how you feel. See how your neutral may have changed. Shavasana, extend the legs and then bring the arms back a little closer into the sides, but a little bit away from the sides enough so that your armpits feel free, right? Let your legs release out. Let your legs release. So there's no, in Shavasana, this is the ultimate neutral, right? Ideally, no holding on anywhere, right? And of course, we're talking about the physical body, but it's not like separate from anything else in our psyche, right? It's all one. Observe. Then bend your knees up again one by one. Palms, feet flat. And then as you exhale, press your lower back down, sink your waist down, bend your right knee in towards your chest, interlace your fingers, and hug your shin just below your knee. And let your leg gently fall in as you exhale towards your chest. And then inhale and push your shin into your arms so your arms straighten. And slowly extend your left foot out on the ground. Point your left foot, left leg straight, and flex your right foot and push your shin into your hands, so away from your chest, so your arms straighten. Take an inhale and then exhale and release, and allow the right knee again to fall in towards the abdomen, and hug that in and relax the right foot as you extend the left leg and point. And then slide, keeping the right knee into the chest, slide the left leg up and bring the left foot flat. And then release and bring the right foot flat. Take an inhale, exhale, sink your waist, press your lower back down and lift your left leg up, keeping your left knee bent, interlace your fingers and let your left knee fall into your chest. Take a breath and then inhaling, you keep pressing your lower back down as you push your right knee into your two hands. Left knee. Yes, thank you. Flex your left foot. And then slowly, keeping your right toe pointing, extend your right leg onto the ground. And push that left shin into your hands. Take a breath. And then as you exhale, release and allow your left knee to fall into your chest. Relax your left foot now. And extend the front of your right leg. Take a breath, and then as you exhale, drag the right foot up, and then release your left leg down, and take a breath. And then roll over onto your right side, extending your right arm, rest your head on your upper arm, and draw your knees up towards your chest in fetal position. Bring your left hand down in front of your chest, and then lifting your head, turn and look down to the ground. Roll towards your left hand, draw your right arm back, pull your waist in, let your head hang until the end, and then walk yourself up. Good. And then we'll do Virasana forward. So you can use any support that you like, but first we're just going to do sort of vanilla flavor. So you can use a blanket under your shins, a block for your head. First, we're just going to do it not super supported, but then we will do it more supported. I just popped from my ankle. So you're going to sit on your heels, knees apart, big toes touch, and then have space in front of you to come forward. And if you need something for your head, bring something to put your head on. And then you tilt into a little bit of a forward bend, bring your hands on the ground and start to walk forward. Okay, and then don't go too far, too fast, but come like a comfortable distance for you. Push down into your hands, forward into your fingers, and draw the shoulder blades down and around towards the side ribs. Okay, and then pushing down and forward, bring the buttocks back to the heels. And then elongate the back of your neck, curl your chin in towards the notch of the clavicles. You can shimmy your ribs down a little bit in between your thighs. And then slowly you reach your arms a little bit forward, but keep your arms injected into your shoulder sockets. Keep connecting the outer edge of the upper arm to the outer edge of the shoulder blade. And then imagine someone's gently pressing your shoulder blades and armpit chest a little closer to the ground. And then at some point, tuck your chin really deeply in towards your clavicles, and then you let your head come down on some support. And breathe there. If you can keep your arms extending, that's great. If not, then you can bend the elbows. Can bring your hands wider, like towards the outer edge of your shoulders. Yeah, left hand can go a little wider. Yeah, good. And then squeeze the elbows in at the tricep just above the elbow joint and up towards the ceiling as you take the shoulder blades down and around, and pull the shoulder blades instead of towards your ears back towards your pelvis. Yes, Susan, as you bring them down and around towards the outer ribs. Yes, like that. Good. And breathe into the back body. Observe the breath. Tuck your chin more and more, Robin, so the back of the neck reaches up, even as the armpits go closer down towards the ground. And keep the shoulder blades from rising up. Move them down towards the hips and also towards the outer ribs as you extend the arms and squeeze the elbows in. Yeah, and breathe. Good. Okay, and then coming up onto your hands and knees, curl the toes under and lift the hips up and release the head down. And lift the kneecaps up and from the elbows and take a couple of breaths there in downward facing dog. Yeah, good. Try to straighten your legs. Don't overextend your thumbs, Kim. Turn your hands a little more out, squeeze your elbows more in. Yep, and walk your feet a little more back if you could, and widen your feet a little bit. Yep, there you go. And straighten the knees and lift the heels up. If you can straighten the knees all the way. Yeah, there you go. Unbend the knees. We just did a knee bend. So open the backs of the knees. Don't be afraid of hyperextending. Just lift your heels more if you need to and open the backs of the knees. Lift the kneecaps up. Yes. And bring the heels around to the front so that you extend the inner heels back, not the outer heels. Look, yes, inner, and lift the kneecaps up. Lift, yeah. When you lift the kneecaps, that's your quadriceps. It's not lifting your legs, it's just lifting your quadricep muscles up and opening the back. That's it. Release the head down. Release the head. Don't hold the pose in the neck. Good. That's it. Good. Now walk your feet a little forward and coming into a squat with your heels a little bit off the ground and your hands on the ground. Yep. Heels a little bit off. Yeah, heels a little bit off. Lean forward into the hands. Yes. Good. That's it. And then you can sink back towards the heels a little bit more. Sink back towards the heels. That's it. Good. And then let your head drop down towards the ground. Yep. Good. And then start to unfold your legs. And come up into standing, extended back, forward bend. Bring your hands to your hips and then inhale, lift your hips up and descend your buttocks down. And inhale, take your arms up over your head. And take your inner thighs back. Yes, and broaden the pelvic floor. Inner groins back. Don't push the pelvis. Yes. And then reach the arms up. Yes. And squeeze the elbows in and up. Good. And level the gaze. And exhale over your arms. Good. Now you're going to grab a couple of bolsters. Probably have a couple of blocks also. And a belt. Okay, have a flat and a round bolster. Unless you're smaller, you can take 2 flat, or maybe you'll use a flat and blankets. The first thing we're going to do with the bolsters is a reclining twist. So the bolster big one. If you can, yeah, if you can, 1 round and 1 flat. Yeah, 2 each. And if we don't have enough, that's okay. We might not need 2. Some will, some won't. Okay. Everything. I think we're good, right? Yeah. Okay. So now you're going to lie down this way. This is the reclining twist, right? So you can see how high you want. And also you might want a blanket for your head. So everybody come this way. Okay, so your right hip. Does that make sense? Yeah. Turn the other way. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Turn the other way, Mia. Yeah. Sorry, I started off wrong. Okay. And then your legs are like a mermaid. You just rest one leg on top of the other. It doesn't matter that you don't want to squeeze your legs in. You want to relax your legs. Okay. One hand on either side of the bolster. It's a twist, reclining twist. So you don't want to have it too much to the back or too much to the front. You want to lie down on it, right? So you can adjust it. If you're falling off one side, you can move it to the other side a little bit. Okay. And then the bottom hip, it tends to get short, right? So you want to push the bolster close in and then lift the bottom hip and move. See how I'm lifting the bottom hip and moving it away as I lie down? So there is going to be a little bit of space there. You can push this in a little bit, but you don't want to crimp that side. And then you turn towards the bolster, right? And then you're going to use your arms and lie down. And then you turn your head to one side. So if it feels like you need a little more support, you could then spread your forearms and be there and breathe. Yeah, spread your forearms more. So your wrists, Kim, instead of turning them in, bring the forearm, which is from your wrist to your elbow, out to the side more. So your wrists have to move and hands out to the side. So you're doing this, move your forearm out more. Yeah, the whole forearm, including the wrist. The wrist. Yeah, the wrist. Yeah. So not this way, but just move your forearm out. Yeah, there you go. There you go. She found her forearms. Very good. And get the elbows down. Don't force, but relax. Now you don't have to spread your fingers. Just relax. Don't bring them together. Just relax. Yeah, that's it. Good. Yes. And also, you want to think about your left shoulder falling down. So yes, yes. And bring your forearms more too, Fernanda. No, not forward, out, including your wrists, not just your elbow. Yes, the forearm means from the wrist to the elbow and includes the hand along with it. Yeah. So you see how that helps spread the upper back? Yeah, like a goalie post. And also Mia. And push that blanket away if it's in your way, Mia. Just push it forward. Yeah, there you go. And widen your forearms, including your wrists and hands. So you're not just your elbows, but your whole form, not forward so much. That's okay though, but out to the side also. Yes. That's like a goalie post. You should know that. Soccer player, mom. Yes. Okay. Now we're going to walk. So wherever your hands are, walk them back towards the elbows, turn your head to look down and push up. And then you can adjust the bolster maybe a little closer, whatever you need to do. And then you're going to turn even more the left ribs around, right? And turn the head the other way. So here you might need a little support under your head also. Okay, so that's the opposite turn for your neck. It's a little stronger. Yeah. And see how much you can relax and let go of. Yeah, good, Fernanda. That's right. You can adjust. If it's too much, at any time you can gently lift your head and turn it back. Don't stay too long for you. Okay? Yeah. And if you feel you need more height, then you would also take a blanket, right? Okay for you, Robin?
Yeah.
Okay, and then when you feel ready, you will turn your head back the other way. So it's the easy way. Again. Then pull your hands back to where your elbows were, looking down. Pull your waist in and drop your hips back, walk your hips back. And then you swivel, turning away from the bolster to come to the other side. Left hip to the bolster, one hand on either side. Lift the left hip, move it back a little as you reach the left ribs forward and turn, towards the left side. And then turn the head back to the right. Easy side. And be there. And widen your goalie post arms. Yeah. Yeah, so you can spread the upper back. Good, and then relax there and breathe. Yeah, so this is a restorative class, Kim, which I forgot to mention in the beginning. Yeah, at the end of the month we do this. And so we did a little active in the beginning, and now we're doing more passive. And the active we did was pretty gentle, right? So, yeah. Okay, if it's too much, maybe build it up higher, right? Like either another bolster or another blanket or two. And just go slow, and it's no biggie. If it's not working, it's not working. And you might have them staggered a little. You'll see. Yeah, you can see what works. I think that's too high, Robin. No? Yeah. So grab a couple of blankets instead. Or grab that rounder bolster. Yeah. Start with that, and then maybe a blanket too. Okay, and then after you've been here for a while, you can, turn the opposite way. In order to do that with the neck, you draw your hands back and press up, right? And then you turn your ribs and abdomen even more. You can adjust the bolster or yourself, but try not to crimp, right? That lower left waist. And then you'll turn your head to the left. And again, you can use a little head support, next to your head, a blanket. And then you'll be there for some time. Is that better, Robin? Good. And keep letting your ribs and right ribs and shoulder to fall down to the right. Yeah. Good. And remember, if it's too much to turn your neck the opposite way, at any time you can lift it and turn it back the easy way. You don't have to suffer, right? You can explore giving it a rest and trying again. Mm-hmm. Breathe and relax. So all the shapes we put ourselves in, if you're holding your breath, then that's not good, right? So it doesn't mean you're forcing the breath into, but you're finding where does the breath want to move naturally, and can I allow it to move there more freely? So don't force it into the belly, but allow it to come into the back and the sides, more so the back. And then when you feel ready, you'll just lift your head. You can press into your arms a little and turn back to the easy way if you haven't already. And be there for a few breaths. Yeah, widen your forearms, Fernanda. Yeah, yeah, good. And then when you're ready to come up, you draw your hands back to where your elbows were. Turn your head to look down, pull your waist in, push into your arms, rock your hips back, right? And then to sort of counter that, then we'll do the Virasana over the bolster, right? And you can have a bolster and a blanket. You can have two bolsters. You pull the knees are a little bit far, toes together, big toes. The bolster comes in maybe halfway, not all the way. And then you pull the blanket or the top bolster in a little more and dip it down. And then you'll rest. I want your buttocks and lower back down, lower than your upper back. I might take two bolsters, buttocks down, buttocks down, buttocks down. Don't, so come up here. Hands on the ground, buttocks down. So your butt's coming up. Yes, that's buttocks down. You maintain buttocks down. Okay, so watch me. This is what you're doing. Okay, I'm exaggerating. So you take the belly in and you let your lower back lengthen and drop this down like an anchor. So you might need 2 bolsters, might be better, right? Yeah. Yes. Good. So your lower back should be lengthening nicely. Again, you can widen your arms a little bit so your upper back can widen. Yeah. And as you exhale, let your abdomen float to your back body, right? And breathe into the back body. Yes. Very, very nice. You can widen your forearms a little, Katie. Yeah. Yeah. So when you're in these shapes, you're breathing into the shapes, right? So where's the breath? Moving and not moving. Can you observe the breath in the back of the body instead of, the natural, where you normally always feel the breath in the tips of the nostrils or something, or the lower belly or the upper belly. But explore the breath in the back body. And then you press into your arms when you're ready and turn your head the other way. And explore the breath in the back body. Make any adjustments. Yeah, Robin, you need a blanket too. Grab a blanket. To your left, there's one. Yeah. Fold it in half. Put it on top of the bolster, like a bolster length. Yep. Fold it in half. Yep. Yep. That's like the flat, like you get it out of that's bolster length. Yeah. Now pull that down towards your belly and then try again. Now pull the blanket, sit on your heels, pull the blanket. Yeah. Push it down. Get your hands on the ground right in front of your knees. Push your buttocks down and round your back. Lower back, drop your, yeah. So look here, not this, this broad. Yes, bend your elbows. Yeah. Is that okay? Okay, and then when you're ready after some time, the next one, you bring the one hand on top of the other, let your elbows drop down, tuck your chin, rest your forehead on your hands so the back of the neck lengthens. So you have to draw the front of the throat and the sides of the throat back, and then the buttocks likes to hike up there, right? So you have to drop the buttocks down and maybe move your hands and head more back so that your tailbone is still that anchor, dropping down and your lower back is long. Breathe there. Buttocks down. Good. Yeah. Good. Okay, Robin. That's like the sides of the waist. Down. Yeah. And then breathe here. Yeah. Maintain. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Okay. And yes. Yeah. Like there. Yeah. Breathe. Good. Okay. And then you bring your hands down, pull your waist in and come up. And now we're going to do Supta at the wall. Okay. So you drag the skinny edge of your mat to the wall and you have a blanket for the head if needed, a blanket for your hips if needed. Start with that. And if you have blocks, just leave the blocks handy nearby. Okay, and a belt. Skinny edge of the mat to the wall, you'll wedge in. So I'm going to say, Fernanda, move down to your left a little bit. So, and you have one block on either edge of your mat. Yeah. And yeah, I guess that's good. Good enough. Yeah, that's good. Maybe, yeah. Good enough. Okay, so now when you're going to wedge in, so you bring your feet at the wall, your knees are a little bit bent. You're going to hold, lie down, and then if you need a head blanket, just have it sort of at the top of the mat, and then you're going to hold the sides of your mat. You get your heels all the way to the wall, right, and they on the ground. You pull the mat down towards the wall, and you just push into your feet and slowly let the mat pull your pants down. Tailbone towards the pubis, shoulder blades get pulled down, back of the neck long. Yeah, stay there, stay there. Hold the mat, pull it down. Heels, come on, heels. Yeah, so see, now bend your knees, get a little closer. Now, heels at the wall. Push, yeah. Wedge in. Yeah. Reverse wedgie. Yes, that's it. Okay, good. That feel good for everyone? You could just be here and that could be your delightful yoga practice of just wedging in. So now you understand Supta Tadasana. Supta means supine, reclining. Tadasana, mountain pose. Ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, ear, all in a line, right? Yeah, feels good, doesn't it? Yeah, good. So now bend your knees, bring your feet flat, take a breath, sink your waist down, push your lower back down, bring your right foot knee to chest. Let it fall in towards your waist. You can do that pressing the lower back down and pull the knee away from you. And that kind of gives you a little action. And then you release that action and let the knee fall to chest. And then you slowly extend the left foot on the mat and push it into the wall and roll the inner left thigh down. Relax the right foot now and breathe. Yeah. Good. And then the hip tends to hike up, right? So the outer right hip and thigh, roll it down away from the waist towards the left foot, even as you, and then release the grip of the hip flexor as you take the knee in and extend the left leg towards the wall. Yeah. Move this out. Yeah. Move this down. Breathe. Release the gripping of the groin as you're here, right? Yes, there you go. If you keep gripping, it stops the movement. Yes. Yes, Robin. Good. So if you want to really work on the alignment of your pelvis, even though you're pushing your left foot to the wall, as you roll the right hip and thigh away, you draw the outer left knee up to the outer left hip. You take an inhale, exhale, sink your waist. Sink your waist. Don't pull with your arms. Just let it fall from the sinking of the waist, like flatten. That's it. Yeah, good. And then push the leg away from you again and slide your left foot up. So the left knee is bent. So you can, different ways you can do. So what I was going to say was you push the right knee away, press your lower back down, slide the left foot up, right? Then you release the right foot down, sink your waist, hold your left leg, push the shin away from you, flex the foot, push the lower back into the mat and extend your right leg. Push the right foot onto the wall. Press the right leg down, take a breath, and then exhale and let that leg sink into your chest, left leg. So you can kind of explore. And then when you're sinking, relax the foot now. And roll that outer left hip and thigh away. So your two sitting bones, instead of hiking the left sitting bone up, you don't need to do anything here. You don't need to point, there's nothing happening. And here, release, yes, press this away, good. Now your two sitting bones are square. Yes, okay. So even as you press this away, the outer hip here can go up a little so they're even. Yes, there we go. So this should be a frowning hip crease, not gripping here. Roll this away. Yeah, and don't do anything here now. Try not to do that. Yeah. Take an inhale, push into your belly. Exhale, sink your belly. Hollow the belly. And as you do that, just release, let it fall, right? Instead of gripping. Okay? Good. Now. Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. Yeah, it takes a lot of practice. Now, push that left shin away from you to straighten your arms. Press your lower back down. Slide your right foot up. Lower your left foot down. Okay, now you take your belt. You're going to wrap the belt around the ball of the right foot. Extend the right leg up. Sink the waist. And press the left foot to the wall. Okay, so Supta Padangusthasana. Number one, use your waist to press the lower back down. Yeah, so just bend your knee to chest while you do that so you can yeah. Try to do it as effortlessly as possible. Yes, yes. And try to have your right leg straight before you straighten your left leg, because it's going to be easier to straighten your right leg with your left knee bent, right? So straighten your left leg and then make sure it's perpendicular. Sink your waist, not hard. Don't lift your sitting bones up. Right. Yes. Right. Yes. And then extend. Yeah. Good. And then roll that right thigh away as you draw the outer left knee up to the outer left hip so the hips stay square. Slide your hands down so your elbows can rest on the ground. It's restorative, right? It's easy peasy. Yeah. Yep. And bring your shoulder blades down. Yeah. The sides of the waist down. Good. Beautiful. So it's just, perpendicular. I mean, if it's really easy for you, you can go higher. That's fine. But don't think I have to get it higher than that. So press the outer right hip and thigh away, right? So you're sitting bones, so you're not hiking up, because that hiking up is exactly what causes back pain. So we're trying to avoid back pain, not create future suffering. That's one of the sutras. Avoid future suffering by doing the right thing now. Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah. Good. Press this. Yeah. Good. Take an inhale, exhale, bend the knee to chest, relax. Hug the knee in with your shin, your two hands, right? And when you hug in, don't grip the hip flexor. Now you're holding with the arms. No, now you're holding, right? So your arms are holding. Interlace will give you a better, relax a little, and relax here a lot. Exhale and sink the waist. Instead of pulling with your arms, can you allow the exhale to allow the abdomen to hold and the knee just fall in. I have to get this right? No, just relax and feel everything and soften as much as possible. So it's a combination of engagement and release, right? And so you tend to over effort, okay? And that's not helping, okay? So now we have to change legs, right? So you're gonna slide your left leg up and then bend your left knee, right? Yes, bring your right foot flat, engage your abdomen to do it. Engage your abdomen, pressing the lower back down to bend the left knee to chest. Take the belt around the ball of the left foot, extend the left leg first, then the right leg, okay? So go mindful, go slow, so that you don't strain your back. The idea is to strengthen, right, your abdomen here. This is an abdomen strengthener, as well as organize and stretch your legs, right? So then slide your hands down so your elbows are on the ground. Yeah, but not so much. You want to have the tension of your arms, but your arms relaxed. So you have to find that right effort and release again, right? Left shoulder down more. Yes, good. And then right knee straight, so engage here. Yeah, this is your kneecap. That bottom of the quadricep is what straightens. And then this here, yeah, good. No, don't, just straighten. Yeah, push out. Yeah, it's open here. Yes, tight. Yeah, good. Don't pull those back. Not helping. Good. Couple of breaths. Move this leg just a little out. So it's better for you always to go a little wider, because gives you a little more space instead of squeezing the hips together. Yes. Push this up more than the foot. Push this. Yeah. And then instead of pulling the toes back. Yes. Good. Just be relaxed there. Yeah. Good. Elbows in, shoulder blades down. When you take the elbows in, And roll the shoulders that way. Yeah, very good. Excellent. Okay, bend the knee, change legs. Good. Okay, hug the knee to chest. And sink the waist as you slide the right leg up. Bend the right knee. Sink the waist as you lower the left leg down. Take the belt around the ball of the right foot, hugging the right knee in. Straighten the right leg up. Sink the waist, roll the outer right thigh away from you, right? And sink the waist and extend the left leg and bring the left foot. Yes, flat. Good. And then you reach up a little bit higher on the belt, push the ball of the foot up into the belt, and bring the leg a little closer to you. Oh, and here's where, if you want support, I'll give it to you. You're going to take your right leg out to the side. So you could use a blanket under your hip. So you reach your both side, right hand up, both sides of the belt in the right hand. Extend the left arm out to the side, palm up, or down is fine. And just inject the arm bone a little bit into the shoulder socket. And then you go slowly, straighten the knee, push the ball of the foot up into the belt. So don't overly flex. So it's, yeah, point the foot, yes. So you have a little push and pull, right? So the two go together. One is not overdoing the other. And then you slowly release the inner right groin away from the side of the pubis and extend from the inner right groin to the inner right knee to the inner right foot. And as you do that, you have to turn your waist to the left so you stay in Supta Tadasana. So here's where you can use a little support under your pelvis, right? Which I forgot. And those of you who know, you can roll up a blanket, you can use a bolster, right? Whatever. Okay. So that gives you a little support. And then you can slide your hand down, rest your elbow kind of up towards your shoulder, push, pull, turn, and yes. Okay. Yeah. Be there and breathe. Good. So, so see how your whole hip was turning. So this stays here. Let's go a little higher. Go under. Then elbow a little. There you go. Okay. Now your hips are more even. This could go there. Yeah. Okay, good. Everybody knows what you just got if they've had it before. Yes. Good. And then you push, pull, turn the waist, and inhale, bring the leg up. Exhale, hug the knee to chest. Take a breath. Press the waist down as you slide the left leg up. Left foot flat. Change legs. Left knee to chest. Take your time. And don't go into your maximum. Go into your minimum. Be there, and then maybe you do medium, right? So take your time. Build your pose step by step. Okay, hug your knee to chest. Take a breath. Put the belt around the ball of the foot. Take a breath. Extend the leg. Take a breath. Take your time and breathe. Because if you're doing it in fight, flight, freeze, and panic and freak out mode, it's not going to be good. I guarantee it. Or your money back. So do go slow. Sink the waist as you push the ball of the foot up, extend the right leg. Grip the left knee, roll the left thigh away, right? So you keep your hips square, right? And then you take your leg a little higher up as you're able. And then you put both sides of the belt in the left arm, reaching up a little, extend the right arm. And then make sure you roll the outer left hip and thigh down again, right? Press the right leg down. And turn the waist to the right as you take the leg to the left and extend from the inner groin to the inner knee to the inner heel. And then take the outer leg back to the outer hip and turn the pubis to the right and the waist. Yeah. So you're in Tadasana, except for your left leg. Keep your head central and breathe. Yeah. Good. Okay. Move this leg. Kind of lift this over a little. Yeah. And then, okay. And then roll this thigh down. Yep. And go here. Yep. And you can rest your elbow. Yep. Push, pull, push, push. Yes. And pull. Yes. That's active. Okay. Is that okay? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Is it too much? Okay. So take your time. This should be supporting, right? So you're resting. So it's not overly active, not overly passive. That's the whole yoga practice. is how much to release, how much to engage. Yeah, always finding that sweet spot for you, which is different side, different day, different people, everything. Yes. Okay. Feel okay to you, Susan? Yeah. Good. Okay. And then you push, pull, turn the waist, inhale, come up, exhale, bend the knee. As you bend the knee, you relax the hip flexor as you hold the knee, relax the hip flexor. Exhale, hollow the abdomen, don't harden, relax the foot. Yeah, slide the right knee up. Bring the right foot flat. Good. And release the blanket from under your pelvis. Good. And take a couple of breaths. So I had a whole bunch of other stuff planned, but we can't do everything. So let's take you can use a bolster or a block or a blanket. Okay, so there's block is pretty finite, right, and hard. So you may not want to do that. You might want more. You can use a bolster, it's a little higher. Blanket is a little lower, but you're going to put it under your pelvis and just be with your knees bent and your hips up in a bridge for a few breaths. Okay, so you can use a block, a blanket, or a bolster. And then we're going to go to straight leg from there. Straight leg. No, stay at the wall. Stay at the wall. Yeah. Put something under your pelvis and just stay there with your knees bent. Just an easy peasy bridge. Yep. So yeah, it's better to go the other way, but yeah, under your knees rather than under. Yeah, that's fine. Yep, that's good. Yeah. So yes, Mia, there you go. Go. So I'm going to suggest for you to do a bolster. Yeah. Your hips. Good. Okay. Yeah. Nice and easy. Okay. Go ahead. Roll your shoulders under. Get a little further away. It's yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also, Katie, I'm going to take this. Let's not use this unless you need it for softness. And let's do this too. I think we should do this. Yeah. Because it looks too active. I want it a little more passive, a little softer. Yeah. You can pull it back a little more, maybe, or move your body a little forward. Yeah. 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 That's good. Yeah. And then don't pull your chin in, right? And don't lift your chin up. Just relax your neck and your throat, eyes, jaw, and face. So it's like when you're doing arch and release, you're not doing anything. Here is just passive. The neck that goes with the head in Shavasana. That's in Shavasana. Yes. It's very, very passive. No, you could try it. Lie down first. Bring that towards your feet and lie down. Yeah, like that. Then you lift your hips up and move it under your buttocks. Your buttocks. Yeah. Kick it with your heels. You can kick it or move your body forward. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can take the blanket out or leave it there. So then if you want to do the straight legs variation, which I suggest, then you lift your hips, move the bolster a little more down towards your tailbone. More down towards your tailbone. Then you extend the legs one by one. And it's nice if your feet are at the wall. That's also nice. But if they're not, that's okay too. Yeah. And you can extend one leg, explore, then the other leg, explore, or just go right for both if you like. Yeah. No need to overly lift your lower ribs. Yeah. You can lift your top chest and roll your shoulders under any amount. Yeah. Without hardening and pulling your chin in. That just stays soft. Yeah. So you can try rolling your shoulders under. Yeah. So your chest lifts more. Yeah. Isn't that nice? And then allow the back of the neck to release and so on. Yeah. Roll the shoulders under more. Mia. So turn your palms up and roll your shoulders underneath your body. Yeah. Like bridge in the shoulders. Just let your eyes close and relax. Yeah. Good. Is that okay, Robin? Good. Good. Okay, and then we'll do legs up the wall to close, or if you prefer, you can just lie flat in Shavasana, right? But you might want to put something under your knees and rest like that, or legs up the wall, hips on a bolster, okay? which I recommend, Karni. So the hips will be on the bolster and the bolster a little bit away from the wall. So your buttocks has a place to descend down so that you have the natural curve of your back, if that's a possibility for you, that's comfortable. And if you're feeling like you don't want to do that, that's fine too. You can just rest in Shavasana. And if you need my help, I am happy to help. You can just use a blanket. Yeah.
That'll be okay for me.
Well, you'll see how it feels. And you'll see if support is good or no support is good, or where, how much support. So for you, yeah, probably that is good. You could also do it this way if that feels better, you know, so you can explore. Yeah, you could have the bolster just a little closer to the wall, Fernanda. Yeah, that's good, Kim. And then just let your arms, let go of the ropes now and take your arms out to the side. You can do goalie post arms, palms up. And that way, since there's not a huge amount of space, if you do, I don't know if your shoulders will allow that, but come down with your arm. Just relax. There. Yeah, yeah. Just like that. And then can you roll your shoulders under more? Yes. Yes. Good. That's it. And then just let your abdomen hollow out. And you can bring your arms more down. Or on the belly. Yeah, that's fine too. Yeah, and don't try to bring your legs close, right? Rather let your legs release towards the wall, inner rotation, and then your hamstrings release down towards your sitting bones, and your sitting bones release down. Yes, yes. So you're not hardening here. So you have the natural curve in your back. Okay, and then relax. If you can, Robin, get that closer to the wall. Yeah, there you go. That's better. And then move you closer if you can too. And then maybe take, yeah. I would take this down. You don't really need that height under your head. Is that good for you? Good. And don't think about doing buttocks up, but rather thinking about release hamstrings down and buttocks down. Okay. You could go higher, maybe. Yeah, higher is where you want to eventually go, but not, yeah, you don't want to do that if possible. What you just did, which was this, which is your usual thing, right? You want to do this. Yes. Yes. Is that okay? Not that. Yeah. Yeah. And let this just, don't force it. Release the gripping. That's the idea. Do you want a blanket? Well, I was thinking between your legs, like we did. Yeah, no squeeze. And then whichever leg turns out more, if this is the leg that turns out more, then you want to switch this because you want to pull that one towards the other one. Sorry. Make this a little longer first. You see, you pull the one that turns out more towards the other guy. Now, do you want to hear too? So then you would do the opposite usually.
Oh, on the second one?
Yep. You can have, you can just bring them back. That's fine. You could have like up to 5 or 6 of these belts if you want. Okay. Yeah. Good. And roll your shoulders under a little more. Yes, there we go. And then you can do that. Yeah, okay. A little space. Put your inner thighs. Yes. And just down. Yeah, not up. Don't pinch it up. Drop it down. That way. Any amount. Without force. No, it's release, not engage. Yeah. Just, work towards that. Totally. Yeah. Is that helpful? Yeah. So we'll be here for a few more minutes. So take a couple of breaths and we'll start to move out of the position. So if you want to bring your leg down into Baddha Konasana for a couple of breaths, you could do that. If you're belted or sandbagged, you can slowly come out of that. Take a few breaths, cross legs or Baddha Konasana, either way. And then if you have cross legs, you can change the cross. You can adjust the bolster how you like. And then you can come out and come into a little squat at the wall and Wiggle your way back and rest on your back. And you can have your feet in Baddha Konasana if you like, with your feet on the bolster or on the ground if you prefer. A couple of breaths. Kind of nice to elevate the feet and legs. If that's too much, just go right to cross leg. If that's better for you. Take a couple of breaths and then change the cross of the legs. And if you're in Baddha Konasana, go to cross leg. A couple of breaths. You can make any adjustments, rest in between. If that's not comfortable for you, you can do something else. Yeah, just take your knees to chest. Breathe there. And then when you're ready to come out, you can take a couple of breaths with your knees bent and then roll over onto your side for a couple of breaths. Resting there with your head on the ground or on your upper arm. And then when you're ready to come up, roll towards the ground and pull your waist in, use your arms. Let your head be the last thing to come up and sit for a moment. We'll do our closing chant. Do Om together and call in response. You can take the prayer position if you like. Take a big breath in and out in preparation. And then inhale deeply for Om together. Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma